Welcome, I'm Amy Ventitulo, WCTV, and this is the Washoe County Connection, the public affairs show that brings you monthly updates on the county programs and services designed to serve you. The weather we experience here in northern Nevada is unpredictable, to say the least. But what type of planning goes into making sure our roads stay safe? With us today is Eric Crump, Washoe County Operations Division Director for our Community Services Department. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, thanks for being with us. So we're talking roads. We understand the morning rush, right? We grab our coffee, we hop in the car, and we expect the roads to be clear. Tell us about what goes into making sure our roads stay safe for the community.
So we have a team, our roads crew, that go out on a daily basis, oftentimes 24/7, making our roads safe and maintaining our roads. We do lots of different things, but we have several main activities. And so those are snow plowing and snow removal during the wintertime. We have our pavements, we have crack sealing, pavement patching, potholes, and then we have our drainage system that we spend an awful lot of time on along our roadside right-of-ways and our roadside ditches.
So regardless of what the weather looks like, you don't take a break in the summer. You guys are always out there working on the roads.
That's absolutely correct. So the weather actually dictates a lot of what we do, both seasonally. So obviously in the wintertime, we're anticipating plowing snow, blowing snow, removing snow, but it dictates our work throughout the year. So in the summertime, when the temperatures are right, that's when we can do our pavement patching, our crack sealing, and that's also when a lot of the weeds grow. And so we try to keep the weeds down in our drainage because they will give us problems as we move into the fall and the winter. So really, both from a seasonal perspective and a day-to-day perspective, the weather really dictates what we're doing.
Very much at the mercy of the weather, it sounds like.
We are.
Okay.
We are in extreme weather conditions like we've had the last few years. A lot of times our response is really critical areas. So we hear areas that we may have a drainage system that's been overwhelmed, so we're responding to that. So it really throws off what we had anticipated doing, and we're responding to our customers and the citizens who are calling us and notifying us that there's a serious issue. So certainly our number one priority is the safety of the traveling public, and then we also are concerned about people's private property. So those are our two main focuses when responding to emergency situations.
And you mentioned our citizens. So as drivers, as members of our community, what can we do to help you keep the roads safe?
Certainly. So the very number one thing, we're out there to make everybody who's out on Washoe County roads safe. So oftentimes we'll have to set up work zones where we have to control traffic. We do this if we're clearing ditches, or if we're crack sealing, or we're doing pavement patching, or we might just be cleaning up a slide that came into the road from some debris. So we'll be controlling traffic on either end, and we really need people to pay attention to those traffic control areas. They can be very dangerous, and there's a reason they're there. So we want them to heed all of the signs, be aware, pay attention, and listen to the people that are out there. If you're driving through those, you're not only putting yourself at risk, but you're putting the team that is trying to help you at risk as well.
Mm-hmm. They're just not out there for fun.
That's
Please pay attention.
That's right.
And look out for those guys.
Yeah, and we really try to stay away from commute hours, so we try to do our traffic control during the day. We get it set up, we have traffic plans, and we try to make sure people can get where they need to go, and we stay out of the commute time and do it during the day.
That's fantastic. And with a county as big as ours, it's very varied. As you mentioned, weather throughout the year.
Sure.
What size of a team do you have that's always out there doing this work?
Sure. We have a team of actually about 50 team members that make up our roads crew. Yeah, 50 people, and we have
all of this.
That is,
okay.
Yes, and we have over 1,000 miles of road. About a little over 700 that is paved, and then we have a little over 300 that is gravel or unimproved road. That's mostly in our northern Nevada area. So we're based geographically. We have a small team that's based out of Gerlach that handles our northern Nevada Gerlach Via area. We have 3 teams here in the Truckee Meadows that's out of the north, the central, and the south. And then we have a team up in Incline, and all of those total about 50 folks with lots of equipment.
So the work of the roads crew is taxpayer funded, but maybe not how people think. Tell us a little bit about that.
Thanks for asking that question. Yes, the vast majority of road maintenance is actually funded through fuel tax, and so it's a fuel tax. It's not funded through property tax, and that comes from the state and gets assessed across the state, and then each jurisdiction gets their share based on the inventory of their roads. So all of the road work that you see out there is done by buying gas at the pump.
So every time we go and fill up our tank, we go to the pump, it actually helps keep our roads maintained.
That is what funds our road maintenance, yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us, Eric, and telling us about all that you and your crew do.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Of course. And up next, don't miss it, hear about the big decisions made by our Board of County Commissioners that affect you in our Board Highlights segment. What happened at the County Commission meetings this month? Commissioners approved to transfer a portion of the land at the Wild Creek Golf Course to the Washoe County School District for a brand new high school.
Doing nothing with either situation is not a viable option. However, to address these issues, we need to move forward with some sort of solution. That means about 7,000 students would be affected by the construction. And when I say affected, it would create regional impact of a positive nature to those 7,000 students. They wouldn't have to cram into halls every day, tightly jammed by individuals trying to rush to and from classes. And yes, teachers are a challenge. Teachers are, but if they don't have a classroom to build in, to teach in, if they don't have a facility that's conducive, a smart learning environment, what are we really offering these children? To deny students within the perimeter of our area and within our community a high school for golf, and look, we are not getting rid of golf. We all heard today that the maintenance of this has been parceled up into 3 separate parcels with a multitude of issues being dealt with. But the parcel moved up towards the top where the current 18-hole golf would be in existence currently. But the 9-hole executive course that would facilitate golf and can keep open space is probably one of the reasons why I still am in support of this project today.
Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
At the February 26th meeting, commissioners unanimously agreed to establish an affordable housing trust fund here in Washoe County. The second reading and final adoption of this trust fund will come back to the board on March 26th.
Close the book on this and it becomes a done deal.
Commissioners provided policy direction to staff regarding short-term rentals throughout Washoe County, with a draft policy to include issues like good neighbor issues, safety issues, and annual inspections.
So the ban isn't working. It isn't working anywhere. It either ends up in litigation or just flat gets ignored. And so I am not a proponent of simply banning it. I'm a proponent of a person who generally thinks less government is better. In this case, we need regulations to protect the citizens up there.
That wraps it up for this month's Washoe County Connection. Until next time, this is what's happening in Washoe County.